Elon Musk has been in the news a little bit more lately than normal, which is fucking impressive because that man can't go 15 seconds without screaming, "Look at me," at the top of his lungs. But this all kind of centers around his buyer's remorse on Twitter. Now, honestly, at this point, I just find it amusing to watch him not be able to back out of something he ran his mouth about, and in the process run a shitty social media platform into the fucking ground. But because our world has devolved into tribalism, we can't all sit around and enjoy this together. Because everything has to have a political side, right? And as such, his new ardent defenders have been repeating some very specific rhetoric that I keep hearing come up over and over again. And that's something along the lines of, "Oh, I bet all you leftists were worshiping him when you thought he was woke because he was promoting electric cars." Because for some reason, these fucking morons have made transportation political. But now all you hypocrites hate him, because now he's running around championing free speech as long as you talk about what he agrees with. Anyway, I feel like I'm uniquely qualified to speak on this specific issue. Now first, a lot of leftists hated Musk long before he bought Twitter. He started life as a rich, narcissistic douchebag, and he has only become a richer, more narcissistic douchebag. Not real leftist quality material. But I, on the other hand, kind of fit into that category. I was a really big Musk fan, and now I'm less so. And here's why. I never thought Musk was a good person. I never thought he was woke. I never thought he agreed with my political ideology. That's not where my Musk fandom came from. I was born at the very end of an era that had hope and wonderment for the future. Think about it this way. The late 1800s, they were running around with horses and buggies. By the early 1900s, we had planes, trains, and automobiles. We literally went from riding animals to get around to fucking flying in a couple decades. And then we went from planes that were basically a motor strapped to a kite to the pinnacle of piston-driven aviation within another couple decades by the mid-1940s. And then it was muscle cars and jet planes and space travel. Then it was supersonic flight, and then commercial supersonic flight, and then putting a man on the moon. So through all this time, society looked on and said, I can't imagine what's going to happen in another 20 years. We'll be flying across the ocean in an hour. We'll have flying cars. We'll have all kinds of crazy technology. Then the auto industry died in 1972, and they grounded the Concorde, and they scuttled the shuttle program, and our astronauts were hitchhiking with fucking Russians to the ISS. All that excitement about future technology just vanished, and it was fucking depressing. Then Musk comes along, and not only does he make electric cars practical, he makes them fucking sexy. And then there's little rockets landing vertically, like in a fucking sci-fi movie. So yeah, I'm a fan of the work he did and does. Not his ideologies or him as a human being, but now the fact that I'm excited for future technology again and have stuff to look forward to. It's fucking cool. He's a lot like Howard Hughes. He's a narcissistic asshole who is brilliant in his own way. But that narcissism works on a bell curve. When they have something to prove to feed their narcissism by doing the impossible, they make cool shit happen. And they continue to need more and more of that narcissistic feedback, but they get to a point where they have no more checks on their ego and don't think that they could fail at anything. And then they get out of their lane and they do dumb shit like buy Twitter. And he is going to fail with Twitter. And that sinking ship is what's distracting him from the shit that he did that I thought was cool. That's negating all the shit that I thought was cool and just leaving all the shitty stuff that I never liked about him in the first place. That's just it. People like me never worshipped the man. Something which I know is a difficult concept for a certain demographic to grasp. And because I'm an adult with an above room temperature IQ who lives in a gray world, I can appreciate all the cool stuff that exists because of Musk and continue to appreciate it. I can also realize that he's just a shitty human being. And I can find it absolutely hilarious as he tanks Twitter. See, it shouldn't be controversial. It's a beautiful thing. The world is simultaneously a better and a worse place because of Musk. And I don't understand why on both sides of the aisle that is such a difficult concept to grasp.